So, this is an April in the fullness of spring in Greater Poland. The fruit trees are fully flowering, and the willows are slowly blossoming. Temperatures rise up to 22 degrees Celsius, allow to the bees for the first harvest of nectar this year, which generously give them fruit trees. This year, the weather has been very gentle with the swarms. Pollen collected in the winter from hazel allowed to the bee queens laid a large number of eggs. Thanks to this, through March, the old winter bees dying of old age were successively replaced by the young spring generation. The exchange period is practically behind us, and the bee colonies greatly increase their worker population. Let's take a look at the bottom part of the bee frame. We can see large amounts of well-fed larvae. In a moment, they will become pupas, means the so-called closed brood. A bit further, we can see pupas, or other word closed brood. The queen is intensely looking for empty bee cells to lay eggs in them. When the pupil's development is over and has already transformed into a mature bee, it opens the cell's lid from the inside and tries to get out of the comb. Its position is characteristic, its head turned outside. Bees cannot enter to the cell like that. During this time of the day, can get up to 1,500 workers. This young bee has about 35 days to stay alive from now. Intensive spring work with frequent weather bends will seriously damage her health. Let's look at the natural arrangement of stocks and brood in the spring hive. Honey has been gathering on the upper frame, it's not ripe yet. Below, an empty frame is used to evaporate excess water from nectar to make them mature. Lower than this, the bees gathered a huge supply of bee bread, means preserved pollen. The free cells between the bee bread stalks were used by the queen mother to lay egg in them. Below are two frames of the proper nest where bees raise broods and gather around them pollen supplies for feeding young bees and larvae. Finally, pay attention to how the pollen forager put its load of pollen to the cells, how it is placed to the cell. This is quite a problem. Most of the comb is already occupied by the bee bread, the pollen thrown by the harvesters beaten with the heads of bees. Bees conserve it by inoculating bacteria of the Lactobacillus genus, that is lactic acid bacteria. Thanks to this, it does not spoil and acquires new nutritional values. Now, our heroine, finding a suitably empty cell, drops the pollen load with the middle pause. It takes a moment and then the thoughts of the next flight are free again.